Okay, so hi everybody. Today we are come back with TDPK Talk Global Tech Review EP 21. So the topic is take the advantage of the global e-commerce boom. So today we are stay with Martin. Can you introduce yourself first?
Yes, hello everybody. It's a very great pleasure to be on the show with you. Thank you very much, Elle, for inviting me. To let you know a little bit about myself, I am an entrepreneur. I am the founder of a startup called Dr.
Yeah.
Tech, and we are specialized in e-commerce.
Yeah. Okay. So today you will tell us about how to manage the store on the e-commerce like that, or you someone or somebody want to start to selling product on the e-commerce, you help them like that.
Exactly. Like, I think, like, as everybody saw, there was like a huge increase in e-commerce since last year. So
Yeah.
it's like a very great opportunity for anyone to sell online and to grow his business. So that's going to be the topic of the talk today. I would like to
Yeah.
share with you some insight about that, some experience as I'm doing that every day for me and for my customers. So once again, thank you very much for having me on the show.
Okay. So you can start your session now. Okay.
Perfect. Should I
Yeah.
share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So, hello everybody. So as we said, we're gonna talk about how you can take advantage of the global e-commerce boom, and let's discuss how to easily sell any product through your own online store. Sorry. So the topic we are going to cover is, how you can sell your product or other people's products. You don't really need to have your own product if you want to sell online and profit from the global boom in e-commerce. Then we are going to talk about how to sell online. There is like two big things that you can do. Either go through the marketplaces like Amazon, Lazada, Shopee, or create your own online store. We are going to talk about the pros and cons of both solutions, and you have advantages, disadvantages, and see like what solution can fit best to your need. And then you are going to dig deeper into creating your own online stores, because I think that's the best solution. So we are going to see how you can set up your store without any technical knowledge. So even if you don't know how to code, or even if you don't want to hire a developer or an agency, I'm gonna show you how you can set up your own store, how you can get payment from your customer directly on your bank account, how you can ship your product or other people product directly to your end customer, and how you can deal with storage when you have, let's say, more volume, more sales. There is a very great way to handle the storage and reduce dramatically the delivery time to your customer. Then we're gonna talk about digital marketing, so how you can attract customer basically to your store, because it's a pity if you have a great online store, if like everything's perfect, but you have nobody who can see the store actually and buy on that. So we're gonna talk about how you can get traffic to your store, make sales, and promote your offer. And at the end, we're going to take some time for a Q&A session, question and answers. So please keep your question for the end. And I'm going to take the time required. I'm not in a hurry to answer your question, and help you as much as we can today on the session. So, okay. To let you know a little bit about me, I'm the founder of Dr. Tech, which is a startup helping non-tech savvy people to sell online by providing them awesome online stores. So I'm really working with people who want to sell online, who want to create a business or develop their business, but they have no clue about how to make a website, and they are not tech people. So I'm working with them to create a nice solution for them to be up and running quickly, and also to be able to manage their store very easily. So that's what my startup is doing, and I'm also a mentor at TDPK Startup Booster program. which is a program that provides support, knowledge, donation to help entrepreneurs grow their business. So yeah, we have like maybe 15 startups right now in the program. So if you're interested into growing your company, launching your company, and you wanna join a great program that can be like a good solution for you, you can find more information directly on the TDPK website. So great. So just before we start, I just wanted to remind everybody that 2020 was like a real big increase for the e-commerce industry, for every company that is in this industry. We can see like the valuation of companies like Amazon, Stripe, Shopify, and stuff like that. The valuation of this company like really increased a lot, like very crazy, because of COVID. There was like a lot of industries and business that had to reinvent themselves. People had to shop online, so it really changed a lot of behaviors. Like people didn't have the choice actually for buying things than go in online and go to Amazon or to their supermarket website. So yeah, it really increased the number of people first who sell online. I'm thinking, for example, of all the little retail stores that have been shut down, that have been forced to close. When I thought about that, I don't talk only about Thailand, I talk worldwide. So there was like a lot of little stores that have to shut down and could not like welcome the customers. So they switched to selling online. They set up a website. And so, yeah, we saw like a huge increase of this new website. We also see a huge increase of the money spent, of course, because people now they get to spend online. They have to pay on this website or marketplaces. So people now are way more used to it. They trust e-commerce more and stuff like that. So that's great. And yeah, the total pool of the money that is spent online is much higher than before, and it's keep growing like crazy. Really, like when you see the chart of like the number of websites online or the money spent online, it's really like grow a lot at a very big space. So yes, nowadays it's the industry to be in. Let's say whatever business you're doing, I think that's a very great way actually to grow your business or to start a business by going online and profiting from this like very big boom in the e-commerce industry. So now we're gonna see like how you can sell online. So if you can just like make me like little comments either on YouTube and Facebook, depending on when you are, just to let me know if you can hear me well, if you can see me well, also see my slide, just in case there is any technical issue. We can know it from the beginning. It would be perfect. If you can just do that, it would be great. But yeah, so now that we say that the e-commerce is huge, like how can you sell online actually? So we really see nowadays two things. Like we see people who have their own products, like they have a business, maybe a retail store, and they start to go online and they start to sell their own products online. So if that's your case, that's great, because with going online, you're gonna be able to access millions of potential customers, either in Thailand or worldwide. Like the internet has no limits, so you can definitely like sell wherever you want. And if you already have a product, if you already have a business, it's a very great way to grow the business. But I'm pretty sure you already know that, and I'm not teaching you anything here. But something that I see also a lot is that I see a lot of people who start to sell over people products, which means they don't have the actual product, they don't have the actual business, but they go to a manufacturer, they go to a factory, they go to partner with someone who has a great product, and they start to sell that. Which means, like, for example, if you can find a business who's doing something great, but this business doesn't want to go online or doesn't want to handle that, it's a great opportunity for entrepreneurs to start selling these products, selling these services on the internet and share the income, for example. So I see a lot of people, a lot of agencies, a lot of business doing that, and it works also very, very well. So once again, either in Thailand or worldwide. I'm from France. My startup is working in France. I get only French customer so far, so I'm really well known in the European market. We also have some customer selling in the US. So yeah, so I'm more like in the western part of e-commerce, but most of my customer, they also have provider, manufacturer, supplier, or partner in Asia. Some of them have in China, some others in other country. But yeah, I have a lot of customers who do that. They sell other people products, and that's a very great way to do e-commerce also. Then I wanted to talk a little bit about drop shipping. I don't know if you heard about that. I don't know if you saw some videos on YouTube or some news or but that's something that definitely grew also over the last few years, let's say, but like 2-3 years. Yeah. Basically, the idea of drop shipping is that you set up a store, you sell it directly to the end customer. So let's say the end customer make a payment of $100, or let's say 3,000 bahts to talking bahts, and then when you get the order from the customer, then you send this order directly to the supplier, and then the supplier, which for example you are going to pay for the product, let's say 1,500 bahts, then the supplier is going to ship the goods directly to the end customer, which means in the process you make a profit of $1,500 because you sold for 3,000, you pay for 1,500, and you don't even see the product. That's great. So you don't have to buy a lot of products, you don't have to store the product, you don't have even to ship the product by yourself to the customer. It's the supplier who do all of this by himself. Also, this model doesn't require a lot of capital to start because your customer pays first, like you first accept the order of your customer, and when you have the money, you pay for the products cheaper to your supplier, which means like you make the profit like straight away, which is great. So I saw a lot of people starting to do drop shipping with like really any kind of products. Really, like as long as you can sell that, you can make a profit, you can have a business and do drop shipping. So yes, people doing things for animals like cats, dogs, things for the house, things for cars, chairs, tables, glass, like really anything, as long as you can sell that. And then that's a really great way to start doing e-commerce. And after that, once you get orders, when your business is growing, it's very easy then to like go to your supplier, buy in bulk, or get a few more suppliers to get more products to diversify your offer, and then grow an actual and real business. So so that's a great way to start, and then go to a bigger and more normal business, let's say. So for example, I see a lot of people who do drop shipping with a supplier from AliExpress. I think you all know AliExpress. They can ship their goods worldwide for you, so that's great. You just find something that you want to sell, you set up your store, you promote the store, people buy it, and then you just make the money with the margin. And also, I wanted to mention companies like Teasers. We're a partner with them, and actually what they do is that they handle the relationship with the supplier. So they help you to find a great supplier, they help you to handle all the payment to your supplier, and in case there is a problem somewhere, they can also help you and handle that. So that's really a very great way to manage and to launch a dropshipping business, to work with this kind of companies. So yeah, this is kind of the three kind of people who profit nowadays the most of the expansion of e-commerce. Either the people who already have products and a business, people who start selling other people products and people who do drop shipping. So yeah, that's the three main idea that you can follow if you wanna profit from this trend. Then I wanted to give you some tips if you want to sell internationally. So if you want to sell to Thailand, from Thailand, and if you want to get your product from Thailand, either from you or from another supplier, and sell to Thailand, you don't need to worry much about all of these points. But as long as you want to sell in another country, you will definitely need to be careful about all of these points, because if you don't, you can have a lot of bad surprises. So it can be a good idea right now if you can take like a pen and a paper. I have no idea if this show is gonna be on replay, but basically here I put you like the main point and almost all the points that you really need to be careful about when you want to sell internationally. So the first one is about the shipping time and price. Especially now, shipping can be expensive. Of course, depending on where you ship and also from where you ship. So, for example, if you ship from Thailand or China to France, let's say, for example, you're gonna have 15, 20 days shipping. So it can be long, and the problem with that is when it gets long, the customer gets angry. And if you get the customer angry, then you get complaints. Sometimes you get to refund them, and sometimes an issue that I see is that some people get straight from the payment getaway. So basically, what the payment getaway is the provider that allow you to accept payment on your store. And if you don't deliver the customer correctly, if you have too many complaints, they can say, okay, like we cannot support your business anymore. This comes because of the fact they have banking license most of the time, and as a bank, they have some regulation that they have to follow. So they cannot accept more than a certain percentage of complaints. It's very, very low. It's below 1%. So, which means you get to be careful with how fast you can deliver your customer. So yeah, that's the first point. Then also the price. The price can be expensive, especially if you sell small packages. It can definitely eat a lot of your margin or force you to sell at a higher price. So you get to be careful about that also when you want to sell worldwide. And then the best practice is to deliver your customer around 10 to 14 days. So yeah, that's ideal. Sometimes it's very hard to meet this deadline, especially nowadays. All of the carrier doesn't operate at 100%, so they don't have all of the flight that they should have, all the ship that they should have. So, yes, it takes longer than normally. During this period of Chinese New Year, most of the Chinese suppliers are just out of office, which means like for 1 week they don't ship anything. So this is the kind of stuff that you get to be careful when you work with supplier who are not yourself. Because if your delivery time gets too long, then you get so much complaints, and then you can harm your business at the payment gateway level, and then they strike you. It just means that you cannot accept any more orders, so you don't have any more business. So you really need to be careful about that. Then a good way to avoid these complaints is just to let your customer know what's going on. Like, it's okay nowadays, people understand, but it's harder to deliver them faster. So if you let them know upfront before they buy, maybe you are going to lose some sales. That's true, but the one that you're gonna get are less likely to complain, to ask for refund and stuff like that. So you're gonna have less problem at the end of the day. So that's much better. So yeah, first idea is to let them know before they buy, and also keep them updated about the progress. Yeah, like you can easily give them the tracking number, so they can see where is their package, where are the goods, and that's definitely made them feel much better and less worried about what they buy, because most of the people think like websites are scam or stuff like that. So when they see something that is going wrong, they can be scared that you scam them. So that's why if you can give them the tracking number, at least they can follow where is the shipment, and they don't think that's a scam. But so once again, you have less problems, less refund, and it's fine. So so that's most of the time the best practice. Then it's good to start like this. Like if you ship to your customer directly, let's say for example from Thailand to France, you can ship directly to them. That's great to start, but most of the time that's expensive and long, as we said just before. But a very great way to overcome all of these problems is to use a local warehouse, and you are going to see that just after in the next slide. Or you can have your own local warehouse to ship your customer in 2 or 3 days, to deliver your customer, in 2 or 3 days locally. So yeah, you're gonna see that after. And then the second very important point that you get to be careful when you want to sell worldwide is the regulation and the customs. So first of all, the carrier, so the shipping company that is gonna ship for you, will help you with that. You can ask them all the questions that you have. They are used to doing that, so they can definitely help you with the regulation and customs. But it's good to have an idea of what's going on. And for example, it's very hard to ship cosmetics, electronics goods from Asian country to European country. That's almost impossible because the regulations are not the same. So which means it's gonna be very hard for the custom in France, for example, to accept your electronic devices or your cream or any kind of cosmetics. They just gonna say no, it doesn't abide by the regulation of the European Union, and it's just gonna go back to Asia. So the solution for that is to be sure that the products you ship have this regulation. But to be honest, it takes a lot of time and a lot of money. So most of the supplier doesn't have. So it's much better to avoid selling this kind of products in Europe or in America or in countries where there is this kind of regulation. Also, another example that I can give you is the mask. Like when the COVID started to strike very hard last year, we had a lot of masks here in Thailand because we can produce that here. There's factories, for example. But for example, in France, with my family, they had no mask because the French government was very bad at handling that, so they cannot protect themselves. And I was unable to buy mask here in Thailand and just ship that to my family in France because of the regulation, and at the customs it was forbidden to import masks. So it was like just super crazy, but it can show you like that's very, very important to take care of these 2 points, regulation and customs, to be sure that you're not gonna have any problems. Also, something that can happen is at the custom they can ask you to pay. For example, in Europe, you are very likely to pay for the VAT when the goods are going to enter Europe. So it's better that you know that before you first ship to your customer, because it can increase your cost kind of high. Like for example, in France, it's 20%, which means you're gonna have to pay 20% at the custom. So it can like definitely eat all of your margin if you didn't plan that. So think about shipping time, shipping price, regulation, customs. If you think about all of that, if you just make sure before you launch your business online and you start to sell internationally, then all of these points are fine. You should be okay. You should not have too much problem after all. So that's why I say I tried to make the most detailed list that I could for you tonight. Then, when you want to sell online, you get basically 2 main choices. The first one is going to sell through the marketplaces. So it's going to be, for example, Amazon, Shopee, Lazada, they can accept your product and you can sell through them, or you can launch your own online store. So to let you know a little bit about the pros and cons of both solutions, for the marketplaces, they have tons of traffic. So this is something that is almost unbeatable. Like Amazon has a lot of people going on their website. So which means like if you put your product there, it can be discovered just by all the traffic that they already have. Which means you don't have to worry too much about marketing. You don't have to worry too much about brand awareness and stuff like that. You just have to put your product on Amazon, and they already have an army of buyers who are ready to buy and who want to buy. Actually, now in the United States, Amazon became the number one website where people go to look for something before Google. So, for example, if you want to buy shoes, now people go to Amazon first to look for shoes, and then they go to Google if you cannot find what they want, which means it's very, very, very important. So yeah, this is like a huge shift on the trend. Before people were going on Google first, but now only in the US, Amazon is number one in terms of search. So yeah, as a big advantages, marketplaces, they have tons of traffic and millions of visitors who are ready to buy now. Now, the problems of the marketplaces is they take a fee of all your sales, and that can eat up your profit also pretty quick, and it can be a lot. Like for example, Amazon can take anywhere from 20 to 30% of your revenue. So it can be like at the end of the month, a lot of money that they take from you. Also, one of the biggest problem that I see with this kind of marketplaces is that they own everything. They own the marketing channel because because they attract the customer for you. They also own all the customers. You don't have the customer details, so you cannot send them an email. You cannot promote something else to them. You cannot have a longer relationship. You cannot build your brand with this customer. It's impossible. These marketplaces, they keep their customer details for themselves. They don't share that with you. Also, there's a lot of competition, of course, because as we have a lot of traffic, there's a lot of people who want to sell on these marketplaces. So yeah, most of the time they sell similar product to you, and it's very, very hard to differentiate yourself. And yeah, so from the point of view of Amazon, they don't really care if you sell or if your neighbor sell. What they want is if the end customer is gonna find what he wants, right? So it doesn't really matter for them if there's like 10 or 15 products that look the same, which means for us as sellers, we can end up having like a lot of competition from a lot of company on these marketplaces, and very hard to stand out from the crowd, basically. Also, the marketplaces have their own regulations, so it really depends on which marketplaces you will choose to sell with. But there's some product that they accept, some other that they don't. They sometimes have some conditions and stuff like that, which means you have to abide by that. Sometimes it can be annoying. Yeah, just you have to think about it. Then the other solution when you want to sell online is to do it through your own online stores. So for me, that's the best options. you will definitely understand that through the way I told about it. But when you have your own online stores, the biggest drawback is that if you don't do any marketing, nobody is going to find your stores, right? So you have to handle the marketing. Marketplaces, they have a lot of customers, they have a lot of traffic, you don't. So you have to get this traffic, you get to get the attention, and you get to get people on your store. But once you do that, you own everything. You own your brand, you own your website, you own your marketing channel, because customer goes directly to you. There is no middleman. You own your customer, you can have their phone number, you can have their email address, so you can launch a new product and promote that to your customer. You can talk to them. You can ask them what they like and stuff like that. So you can improve yourself. You can do basically whatever you want. There is nobody who is gonna tell you what is good, what is bad. On your store, there is no competition. There is only your product, only your brand, only what you sell. And today, it's very easy to launch your own online stores. Even if you don't know how to code, even if you're not a developer, even if you don't have the money to hire one, there is platform like mine, .tech, and Shopify, on which platform you can set up your own store very fast and create your own online store with no coding knowledge and have something very, very great. So of course, my startup is much better than Shopify, so you should come to me. But basically, the idea of both platforms is to provide you a ready-to-use e-commerce online store and to manage that for you. So either it's me or Shopify. We handle all the hosting, all the security, all the performance of your website. You don't have to worry about that. And you can just focus on your sales and on growing your business. So that's great. Then once you get your own online store, so we're gonna see in the next few slides how you can sell online for your own online store. The first thing that you have to think about is how you're gonna charge your customer. Are you gonna get paid? Are you gonna accept payments? I'm gonna give you a few tips about that because there is a few companies that can do that for you. So basically, you are going to work with this company and they are going to give you the possibility to charge customer on your store. They are going to act like the middleman. It's a payment gateway that I was talking earlier, and they are going to send the money directly on your bank accounts, and they're just gonna take a small fee on every payment. So most of the time it's like 1 to 3% of your sales. So it's like much lower than what Amazon is taking if you sell through them. So there's like a few options. In Thailand, there is one called 2C2P, who is doing that great. Otherwise, if you have a company abroad, you can use Stripe. That's definitely the leader in this field. You can also use PayPal. That's always a good idea to add PayPal on your store. Actually, you can set up multiple payment options on your store, so you can add as many as you want. Then in some countries like Thailand, for example, it's a good idea to add the payments via cash on delivery. So you can do that with us, for example. I don't think you can do that with Shopify, by the way. So that's one good point for us. You cannot set up a store and accept payments via cash on delivery. So for those who don't know what it is, basically it's like your end customer is going to pay only when they receive the goods by cash, and then the delivery guy is going to bring you back the money. So that's great for Thailand, for example. I see many online stores doing that. In a lot of countries in Africa also, it's the way they do e-commerce. So you get to propose this way to pay on your store. Then you can also see with your bank directly, like they can most of the time provide you a solution that you can integrate on your store and accept payments very easily. Then if you want to sell, not in Thailand, but you want to sell worldwide, and you wonder which payment gateway should I use, it's very important to set up on your store local payment method. So either if in Thailand you like to pay via cash on delivery, for us in France, we don't pay this way. So you need to adapt yourself to the way your customers are going to pay. And if you have no idea of that, if you don't know, if you have no idea of how your customer like to pay, just go to the big marketplaces, for example, Amazon, and check what's the payment method that they accept. So for example, in France, Amazon will accept credit cards, for example. So great, if you want to sell in France, accept credit cards. If you want to sell in Germany, there is a few others way that people like to pay. So just go to Amazon, check what they have in place, and just do the same. That's really the easiest way to be sure you are going to get the most sales, by accepting the way that people want to pay online. That's very, very important. But that's very simple to know that you just have to follow what Amazon is doing. Then, once you get your payment gateway, you're ready to accept payment on your store, then you get to ship your products to your customer, right? So if you do drop shipping, as we mentioned that earlier, you don't have to worry about shipping. It's your supplier who is going to do that for you. But either you sell your own products or you sell somebody else's product, you're gonna have to ship it to your end customer. So if you're in Thailand, you can use the local carrier that are here and that you know much better than me. So as your type people, so yeah, you can just use them. They are cheap, fast, and it's going to be perfect for delivering your customer. If tomorrow you start to sell worldwide, if you use if you send small packages, you can use the Thai Post, and they can ship almost worldwide. I think, like in rural Europe, that's okay. In the US, that's fine. Yeah, so you can use them. And as soon as you get bigger, you get DHL, UPS. They are in Bangkok, and they can also send for you with no problem. You remember I was mentioning earlier about the customs and regulation. Companies like DHL and UPS, they are really used to doing that, so they can help you a lot if you have questions. And of course, they can help you for free, because then they want you as a customer for your shipping. So that's a good way to get the information that you need. So okay, now you are good. You get your payment gateway set up. You know how to deliver a customer. Now let's say you're making your first sales, your business is growing, and you want to improve your margin, because the shipping is not gonna be free, especially if you send small boxes. You're gonna pay a decent amount of money to get delivered directly to the end customer. So a very great way when your business is gonna grow, and a great way to improve your profits, is to think about storage in the local warehouse. So basically, the concept is that you're gonna send a bunch of your products locally where your customers are, and these companies who are going to stock it for you. And once you get an order, your online store can be synchronized automatically with them, and then they can ship to your customer directly. So let's say, for example, you want to sell to the USA, you want to sell to America. You send 100 products to the US in a prep center, for example, and then you promote your store to the US. Every time you're gonna get a sales, your sale gonna go directly to this prep center, and they are going to ship directly to your customer. Which means in the end, they're gonna, as they ship locally, it's much faster. They can deliver in 2 or 3 days. So we avoid all the problems that we talked earlier with we found the customer not happy and stuff like that. Also, it's pretty cheap, because most of the time you're gonna pay for 2 things: the storage and for the shipment. But as these companies do a lot of shipping for their customer, most of the time they negotiate contract with the carrier, and most of the time they can give you a better price than the public price. So most of the time these solutions are very cheap. It's really worth it if you have some volume, because you get to send a bunch of your product first. So you get to pay for the products, you get to pay for the shipping. So yeah, if you get 10 products, it's not worth it. But if you have 100, 500, 1,000, it's definitely a very great way to improve your business, your margin, and make your customer much more happy. Then the two options to do that are FBA. So FBA means fulfilled by Amazon. So basically, you put your products in Amazon warehouses, and they are going to stock it for you, and they are going to deliver a customer for you. So that's awesome because Amazon has warehouses around the world. They have one of maybe the best logistics in the world, so they can really operate fast. They are reliable. They are huge, so there's no problem. So that's awesome. But they also have some regulation. They don't accept every product, and I think they don't accept more than 200 units, if I'm not wrong, at least in the US. So we saw like actually the rise since last year of prep center. So basically, prep center are doing the exact same thing as FBA, which means like they have warehouses and they receive orders, they receive the goods and they just ship. That's super simple business. They just have to be good at logistics. They have to be really active. Like when they get an order, they get to ship it to the customer very fast. But yeah, there's a lot of very great companies who do that, especially in the US. Actually, in Europe, there is not much. But I'm pretty sure it's a business that is going to grow and grow and grow because we definitely need more of this kind of company. Because before last year, Amazon with FBA was the only one to do that. But now, of course, we had some competition on this market. So yeah, I think it can be great to develop more of this web center. But that's a really awesome way to get a warehouse, ship your customer faster, make them more happy. And there is some web center who also doesn't charge you if your product doesn't stay with them too long. Like for example, they would say you can ship your product to us. If they stay less than 3 weeks, you pay only for the shipping. We don't charge for the storage. So which means like you get 3 weeks to sell everything, and if everything is sold, you just gonna pay for the shipping and you don't even pay for the storage. So yeah, that's a very good deal. So yeah, that's a great way to improve your business. Storage, FBA, and prep center. Oops. After that, so now just to summarize a little bit, you get your online store with an awesome platform. Then you know how to accept payments. Then you know how to ship your customer, and you also know how to improve your business with a local warehouse. So basically, you're good on the management of your business. There is not much more to worry about. Then the last point is, how are we gonna get sales? How are we gonna get customers, traffic on our store? So this is why I wanted to talk about digital marketing. So we're not gonna have the time to make like a full course about that, but I summarize here for you the main idea when it comes to digital marketing and the main trend, let's say, of what people do to promote an online store. So the first one is to go through the search engine. So mainly Google. Actually, there's a few others also like Bing, for example. But like who is using Bing? To be honest, if you are somebody who use Bing, please put a comment. I'm very curious to see if there's some people who use that in Thailand. But yeah, of course, there's like most of the people are on Google, and if you want to profit from the millions, hundreds of millions of people who go on Google every day, you can actually improve what we call the SEO. So SEO is the search engine optimization. So basically, it's the order in which the result appear on Google. For example, if you look for shoes on Google, you are going to see result number 1, result number 2, result number 3, and so on. So this is SEO. So if you want to be higher in the results, you have to improve your SEO. which means the company that are number one, number two, number three, most of the time they work a lot on their SEO, they are good at that, and they get like a lot of free traffic. That's 1% free when you do SEO. They get a lot of free traffic to their stores, and like it can make sales, so that's really awesome. Then you get ads. Like most of the time, the ads are the top results that we can see on Google, for example. If you look for shoes, once again, you are going to see results and a little label most of the time that say ads. So actually, you can pay to be on the top of the pages. So yeah, that's another great way to drive traffic fast, because SEO takes a lot of time to be ranked among the first. So if you want to speed it up a little bit, you can go with ads. It's not gonna be free, but you can set up your own budgets. You can say as much as you want to pay. There is no like maximum or minimum. So yeah, you can fit like any budgets. And then another way also to get some sales through search engines such as Google is from Google Shopping. So Google Shopping, for example, when you look for shoes, once again, you're gonna have some shoes results directly with a picture. So this is Google Shopping. So which means like Google has a special category of results where it displays products of companies like yours, for example. So you can be among them and promote your product here. So that's a good way. That's 100% free. So you don't have to pay for that. So that's great. So it's a great way to have a lot of sales. Then the other category of things that you can do is to sell through social media. I know here in Thailand you love Facebook. I saw so many people doing Facebook Live where they sell clothes, for example. That's amazing to me. I was so surprised when I saw that for the first time, because we don't do that in Europe. So yeah, so that's great. I think Bangkok is the #1 city in the world in terms of people on Facebook. So that's huge. So on all these social media, especially Facebook, Instagram, don't lose your time trying to get organic reach. That if you think that you are going to post a few times a day or a few times a week, and this is going to drive your sales, you are lying to yourself. You are losing your time. It would 5 years ago, but nowadays it's very, very, very hard and very unlikely that just posting picture are going to drive your sales. So nowadays, what works on social media is ads. It's mainly with ads. So you get to pay for this platform. You get to pay to this platform, sorry. They are going to show your ads to the audience, because also they get like millions of users every day, and they can show your product to them. So same, you can set up your own budget. You can choose the way, just how much you want to pay, you want to put into this, and yeah, then you can go on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok, and any kind of social media that you can think of. I know there's also Line. You can promote your product through Line for Thailand. You can do that. So yeah, so that's mainly advertising. That's a very, very efficient way to get a lot of traffic to your stores. Then the third category. So just before I talk about the influencers, if you get any question, feel free to write them in the chat, and I can like go a little bit deeper into this marketing idea. Yeah, feel free to just ask. That's no problem. So then the third idea when it comes to digital marketing can be influencers. So basically, what is an influencer? It's somebody who has followers, can be on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, like any kind of social media most of the time. And these people are going to say, oh, look, I'm using this cream, that's awesome, you should use it too. So I'm pretty sure that you saw a lot of these people already promoting any kind of product. So yeah, now you know they are paid for that. And so they have an incentive to say that this cream is awesome, or this t-shirt is great for sports, or stuff like that. So they are paid for that, so you can do the same. So basically you can like just reach out to them, and the most followers, the most engagement they have, and the highest they are going to charge. That's just very logical. And then yeah, they are going to say that your product is awesome, that people have to go on your store to buy, and yeah, that can drive a lot of sales very very fast. Also, it helps to bring awareness for your product, and also social proof. Because if you can get a very well-known influencer or somebody that is trusted by a lot of people to talk about your product, then it may mean that your company is good, that your product is great, so then people are going to trust you more. That's a great way to drive trust. But it can be hard and expensive. Yeah, I see like some influencer contracts like $10,000, $15,000, $50,000, depending on how much followers they have. So yeah, that can be like very very expensive. And sometimes when we start to do that, it's very hard to judge. Like, is it worth it? Am I going to get enough traffic and sales to cover my expenses for the influencer? Also, you have to pay upfront, so you have to have cash. This is like most of the time a problem. So yeah, it's most of the time it's hard to judge. So with influencers, if I can give you a tip right now, is like, don't go for the big names right now, except if you know what you're doing. But if you have no idea, if you never do that before, just start with small ones. So in case it doesn't work, you don't lose a lot of money. You can also set up deals with some small influencers. Like for some people who have just a few thousand followers, they can promote your product with no money upfront and just a share on the sales. So that's a great way to put your hands on that. Start to do your first deal with influencers, understand how it works, judge like with this amount of followers, you add this amount of sales. So like you can have an idea of the conversion rate. Sorry. So yeah, but that would be my tip for tonight about influencers. Go with small one first, get your hand on that, and once you feel comfortable, you can like go to the bigger one and get a lot of awareness and a lot of sales. Then for anything regarding digital marketing, it's very important to always remember that there is no recipe for success. So it's not because a store got sales doing that, or some people make sales doing that, or it's not because there's a guru who try to sell a marketing course and say, yeah, this is how I made like so much money so fast. That's amazing. Yeah, it works for them, but of course there is not like one way and one recipe to be successful online. So maybe it worked for them, it's not gonna work for you. Maybe it was gonna work for you with something else. So you can be creative here. Like, feel free to test a lot of stuff. Feel free to just create your own strategy, to create your own stream of marketing channel, your stream of customer. It's like there's really no limits in digital marketing. So please don't put boundaries for yourself by trying to stick to only one strategy just because someone did that or someone did teach you that or something. You could just limit your sales and lose a lot of customer just because you don't try something new. So yeah, you just think about that. It can help you a lot. Okay, so that was the last topic I wanted to talk about. So we're gonna start the Q&A session right now. So if you have questions, if you want me to go deeper into a topic, feel free to write in the comments, so either on Facebook or YouTube. We can take the time that we need to just answer questions. I don't know how much time you have for the Q&A session, but no worries. We can answer your question, just type them in the chat. And if you want to discuss more about like setting up your store, some marketing tips, or even about a startup, a business venture that you have or that you want to do, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I would be glad to talk about you and connect with you on this topic. I put you my line, Martin TH for Thailand 2021. So feel free to add me and to message me directly. It's gonna be a pleasure to talk with you. So here's the Q&A. El, how long do you want to? We cannot hear you.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, I will help you for the Q&A session. So now we have one participant ask you that what type of the good that people must buy from online if she's a beginner for the online e-commerce like that.
Interesting to share about Shopify, please.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand the question. What are the good that people must buy from online? Like, you mean like what kind of product can you sell, right? And
Yeah.
that would be interesting. So it depends where you want to sell. If you want to sell in Thailand, if you want to sell in Europe, if you want to sell in the US, it's gonna be
Okay.
difficult.
Because, it's based on the country that you want to sell like that.
On the country, yeah, the population, and also the time of the year. Because for example, if you want to sell to Europe, if you sell during Christmas time, you're gonna have a lot of success with Christmas goods, right? But in Thailand, we don't do Christmas. So if you try to sell Christmas goods in Thailand in June, it's not going to work, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important to understand where you want to sell, what is the people do, what's the calendar of the year. There's a lot like of dates that are important. For example, in Thailand we have Songkran.
Yeah.
It can be super interesting to sell water to Songkran, for example.
Except this year because this year we got the COVID, so we cannot.
Yes, maybe. So this is like the kind of thinking that you can have, and that can help you to find a great product to sell. That's a very easy way to find something to sell.
I think so. So for another question, it's from the same person. She's asked that can you share about your Spotify?
Shopify. So Shopify it's a platform where you're going to be able to create your own online store. So they provide all the tech side for you. So that's really amazing, because even if you don't know how to code, even if you don't know how to handle a website, they are going to do all of that for you, and you just have to make sales, basically. So that's super simple. You have a dashboard, you put your product on the website, you create your design, and then that's done. So you can be ready in just a few days, and that's great. But if I can place my company quickly, because we are directly competing with Shopify, we have some better how to say that. Yeah, there's a few points where we are much better than Shopify. There's like a lot of people who switch actually from Shopify to us. We are not valuable in Thailand yet, so you cannot unfortunately use our solution right now. But in the coming weeks, it should be fine. So if you're interested in knowing more, just message me and I will show you.
Okay, so she has to message you, then you will tell her.
Yeah, I will just show you. I put my line Martin TH 2021, and I will send you all the information.
Okay, so I think the time is done. So thank you, Martin, for joining this session. I think people maybe have get more knowledge about e-commerce and how to get online store and how to get customer to your online shop like that. So if you want to follow TDPK Talk for another session, you can find us to your bar Facebook. So we have many session like talk, like mentor session, like pitching sessions. So you can join if you are interested in. Okay, thank you, Martin. See you next time.
Thank you very much, Elle. See you
Thank
soon.
you.